Hello, boys and girls. Mrs. Johnson here. Welcome to first grade ELA. I hope you are having a wonderful week, and we have some new concepts to learn today, as well as some old ones, some story time. Let's get started. I'm going to show you our schedule for today so you know what is ahead of us. Let me get it to present real fast. Okay, so our agenda for today is introducing the sound. We have a new sound, or you may have heard it before, but we're going to go over it. Then we are going to do how we spell that said sound. Then we are going to do a little bit of a story time, and then we are going to do some sentence practicing. I am going to take my tape real quick because, as you can see, this little paper is trying to float. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get started. So first, introducing the sound. What we have today, let me put this down a little bit. I'm gonna roll backwards. Okay, so what we have is our A and E sound, which makes a k. So in cake, it sounds like k, ache, k, ache. The A-E sounds like A, and our E at the end is kind of silent. So when you're looking at it, you would say k, ache, k, ache, cake. Can you guys hear me? It said that the sound wasn't working. You can hear me now? Okay. So when we look at this word, wave, wave. So we use our A and our E, that's our long A sound, to make our sound, okay? So then we have another one, ate. We have ache. Say it with me. Ache. Make. Very good. Our next one is ace. Ace. Face. Good job. Okay, our next one is ache. Ache. Take. Very good. Okay, our next one is ache. Ache. Bake. Very good. Okay, our next one is ache. Ache. Lake. Very good. I'm sorry, I'm gonna double check that you guys are able to hear me. Okay, hopefully that you can. Okay, here's our next one. Ave. Ave. Cave. Very good. All right, this one is ape. 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 Good job. Ain. Ain. Plain. Good job. Here's our next one. Ape. Ape. Cape. Like you have a superhero cape. Here's our next one. Ain. Ain. Main. Very good. Okay. So that was our long A sound, A-E. Ache. Okay, so remember our cake for our long A and E. So now we're going to go over now that we've done the sound, we're going to go over the spelling, which we've kind of done here. We have our A and our E, but something's always in the middle of our A and E. So I'll show you. So we have our, let's say we're going to do the word, what word haven't we done? Shout some things out. I have an A and an E. Ooh, let's do same, like we are the same. So we put an S, and what do you think we'd put in the middle for same? Aim. That's right. So it would be aim, same. So you always have your A and your E on the outside, and then you have these two letters inside of it. Okay? Alrighty. Now I'm going to say some words. First, I'm going to spin this around. Okay. I'm going to say some words that have our A-E sound and spelling, and I want you to tell me how to spell each of the words. But some of the words don't have the A and E, so you have to tell me which one is an A or E. So I'm going to say my first one, and you're going to tell me how to spell it. Then I'll say the next one, you'll tell me again. So what I want you to do is go get a paper, preferably lined. If you don't have lined paper, that's all right. Just grab a piece of paper, any paper, and a writing utensil like a pencil. All right, so pause here and go get your stuff. Okay, now that you have your paper and pencil, I'm going to start with the first word, which is can. Can. So I want you to write it, and then I'll write it in a few seconds. Remember, some of the words have our A-E sound, which would be or A, sorry, I said that wrong. Our A-E, like our cake, ache, and some don't, so you're gonna spell them however you think it's spelled, okay? And the first one's can. So now that you've spelled it, let's see if we got the same ones. Can, did you spell it like this? Good job. Okay, our next one, it sounds similar, but it's a little different. So listen closely and see how you would spell it. Cane. K-ain. I'm giving you little hints. Cane. So try to spell that. Okay, hopefully you've spelled it already. Let's move on. You would spell it ain. Cane. Is that how you spelled it? Good job. Okay, our next one is tap. Tap. Okay, now that you've spelled tap, let's see if we've done it the same. Tap. Is that what you got? Good job. Okay, our next one, listen carefully, is tape. 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 Take a minute and write down how you think tape is spelled. Okay, now that you've spelled tape, let's see if we did it together. So we go tape. Tape. Is that how you spelled it? Right on. You guys are doing great. Okay, here's our next one. Fat. Fat. Like I have a fat cat. Fat. Okay, now that you've spelt it, let's see if we spelt it the same. Fat. Now here's the next one. Fate. 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 Try to spell that one real quick. Fate. Okay, so you should spell it fate. Is that what you got? Good job. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, we only have a few more. Okay, so this one is rat. Rat. Try to spell rat. Rat. Okay, so this is how you would spell rat. How about rate? Rate. Rate. Okay, you would spell it rate. Rate. Okay, and here's our last one for this. Plan. Plan. Like my family planned a vacation. We have a plan. Plan. Okay, so plan is spelled plan. Now, how about plane? Plane. Plane. Like I went on an airplane. Plane. Okay. This is how you would spell it. Let's see if you can see. Plane. Okay. All right. If you want to take a minute and write all these down, write all this down because we're going to write some sentences later. So if you want to pause here, we'll move on to the next part. Okay, now we have our reading time. So what we're going to do is, you probably have heard this story or read this with Mrs. Sophia, but we're going to go over it again, and I'm going to point out a few things, and hopefully you like the story for a second time. Let's share my screen so you can see our book. Okay. This is called The Pet. Gran says, when I was in Hong Kong, I got a pet. What can it be? Asks Jen. Is it a fish? No, says Gran. Is it a dog? Asks Josh. No, says Gran. Is this pet big? Asks Josh. Well, says Gran, he is not big, but he is long. Has he got teeth? Asks Josh. He has fangs, says Gran. What are fangs? Asks Jen. Just then the bell rings. Gran says, that must be him. Oops. All right. I think that is all we have for this story. Okay, so I'm going to show you the story one more time, but I'm going to point out a few things from the story, and I want you to answer them for me, all right? So let's go to, sorry boys and girls, it has not popped up. Okay, so here we are again. It says the pet. Gran says, when I was in Hong Kong, I got a pet. What can it be? Asks Jen. Is it a fish? No, says Gran. Is it a dog? Asks Josh. No, says Gran. Okay, so what I wanted to point out here was, oh my goodness, you guys weren't able to see the screen. I'm so sorry. Let me show you the screen. I'm having some technical difficulties today. Oh, where did it go? Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm so sorry, boys and girls. Okay. So I want to point out a few things on this page. So what is this up here that I'm circling that says the pet? What is that called in a book or at the top of a story? That is called the title. Very good. So the title tells us what the story is about. So this is called the pet. So it's about a pet. Then we have over here, what are these marks? Quotation marks. Very good. You guys are learning so much. And what about right here? Our punctuation mark. Which punctuation mark is that? A period. Very good. And we have some tricky words too, right? We have when, in, because it sounds like it would just be W-E-N, w-e-n, when, but it's actually W-H-E-N. Then we have what, which is another tricky word. Very good. And then I want to ask you about this mark that's right before a quotation mark. What kind of mark is that? It is a punctuation mark, but what kind? A question mark. That's right. That is our question mark, which indicates what? That it's a question. That's right. And remember, we had gone over talking about how you can quote somebody, because it says right here, what can it be? Asks Jen. So that means that's exactly what Jen said, right? She asked, but it can be the same word for said. That's what she asked. So it's exactly what she said. Very good. Okay. That's enough of this story. I'm so sorry again for the confusion on everything. Okay, so now I want you to get out some lined paper or regular paper if you don't have any. So take that out. You can use the same piece of paper you have had, but I want you to write some A-E sound words. So how do we write it? Our A and our E are on the outside of whatever middle letter this is, right? Okay, so I will write some examples on the board, but as I'm writing some examples, I want you to start writing some sentences with the AE words, all right? Okay, so you go on ahead and start writing the words you think you already know, and I'm going to write some up here, and I'm going to underline where the AE sound is, okay? You can write any kind of sentences you want. But remember, what do our sentences have to have? Punctuation, finger spacing, capital letters, and our best handwriting. That's right. Okay. Oh, I forgot a very important one. Did I say capital letters? Oh my goodness, my brain is just so mushy right now. Okay, so get writing some of your sentences. I'm going to put some examples up on the board, okay? So you might ask, why am I drawing these V shapes under here, under the A and the E? I'm doing that so we know that that is our A sound. So it sounds like A, right? So when you look at it, you can go take, take. It's just a little helpful to understand what the sound is like because the spelling is so weird. Okay, I'm gonna do one more example on here and then let's finish up our sentences. Alrighty, let's do so I only want you using one of the words from the one of the words in your sentences. You don't have to use multiple words. That might be a little difficult. So just use one of the words in each sentence, all right? Okay, you can pause here and continue writing your sentences. I would suggest about 3 to 5. So let's try that out and pause here. Okay, now that you're back, I want to just go over our checklist because I think we are done for the day. So let's look at our screen. Let's see here. My computer just doesn't want to work today. I'm so sorry. This is life though, boys and girls. Sometimes things don't work out how you thought they would. Okay, here we go. All right. So first on our checklist is introducing the sound. Did we do that? Did I introduce a new sound? I did, and what sound was it? A. Very good. And I introduced the spelling, which is A-E. That's right. And we read our story, The Pet. And did we do some sentences? We did, yes. Thank you, boys and girls, for hanging in there with me. I'm so sorry that there were so many difficulties, but hopefully you learned some new stuff. We went over some old stuff, and I can't wait to see you for the next lesson. So I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day and your week, and I will see you soon. Bye, boys and girls.